Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tastefully Balanced. I'm Miriam, and for today's pasta recipe, we are going to make a pesto pasta, but it's going to be a little bit healthier because we're going to make it out of kale. So if you guys love healthier pasta recipes, please subscribe and keep watching. All right, welcome back. So the first thing I'm doing is I have a big pot of water that I'm bringing to a boil. And now since it is boiling, I'm gonna add kale to it. So this is kale that I bought from Trader Joe's. If you look at the pieces, they're pretty small. And then the important thing is that it doesn't have the stem. So I took off the stem. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the boiling water and just boil it for 30 seconds. And that's it. I'm gonna take a little strainer and then take it all out again. Pretty fast. All right, it's been about 30 seconds, probably a minute. I have a strainer, and so I'm just gonna use a pair of tongs and strain out all of these kale pieces and then put them in a bowl. All right, so if you're like me and you cut up your kale in tiny, tiny pieces, you're gonna have a little bit of leftover in the water, totally fine. I'm gonna keep that water and I'm now gonna cook my pasta. I'm just using a veggie pasta from Barilla, nothing special. So I'm gonna add this to my pot of water and I'm gonna boil it while I show you how to make the kale pesto. All right, so now we're gonna work on our kale pesto. So I have had this in a strainer, and what the boiling does is it keeps the color very vibrant, and it also cooks it a little bit so that it's not such a raw flavor when you make this pesto sauce. So put in all of your pesto. Okay, so I've got all my kale in. Now I'm gonna add some raw pistachio. I'm using some oil. This is avocado oil. I am going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. And then last but not least, a little bit of salt and pepper. And we'll taste it at the end to make sure that we have enough of both. Okay, now you just blend. So it's really loud, so I'm not gonna show you as I pour it, but as it's blending, I'm gonna pour a little bit of water just to give it a little bit more of a creamy consistency. Okay, so that looks really nice and creamy. So I'm gonna add some vegan cheese. This is just a mozzarella cheese. But if you have Parmesan, that would be more ideal. So now I'm gonna blend this again. All right, so that is all good. So now our sauce is done. We're gonna wait for our pasta to be done, and then I will show you the last step. All right, so my pasta is done. I have it right here. So I'm gonna add it back to my pot. So this is dirtying up just one pot. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. And then now that beautiful kale pesto. And give it a good stir. All right, now give this a good mix. Ooh. And then to thin it out just a little bit, I reserved some of that pasta water. So I'm gonna add maybe about half a cup. If you need more, add more. And then give it a good mix. Now I'm gonna turn off my stove at this point. Okay, so that looks perfect. Smells so good too, very garlicky. So now I have a little bowl. Ooh, and this is a great base. Now, if you wanted to add mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, black olives, you could do anything with this base now. Ooh, there you go. I'm gonna let this cool, and then actually, let's top it off with a little bit of extra cheese, and then let's let it cool, and then I'll do a taste test. Wow. Such simple ingredients, but the outcome is so delicious, so garlicky, and you do taste the kale, but because you added so much flavor from the garlic, salt and pepper, it's just really good. So if you love pesto but want to make it a tiny bit healthier, try this recipe out. It's amazing. I'll put all of the ingredients and the measurements in the description box with the recipe, and you'll find a ton of other recipes just like this. So if you guys love pasta recipes, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, live life tastefully balanced. Oh, that's way too big.